Good evening, everybody. In the last episode, we used TextGen RNN and the Matrix Python SDK to build a cool little chatbot that randomly barfs out good sentence structure with no context. It was fun. In this episode, we're going to use a slightly smarter AI, the Sequence2Sequence chatbot. It's not just slightly smarter, significantly smarter. We should be able to get some context-y style responses from our bot. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clone this baby, and we are going to download it. How does the internet work? How do, friends? So we're going to go back to our old library. We were in tutorials, chatbot, matrix, Python, SDK, samples. Okay, we're going to do the same thing right here. Let me see. Okay, so we're going to download the library. We're going to clone the library. We're going to put it in the same folder as the samples folder from that's where our simple chat client was. It's the matrix thing, so it's tutorials, chatbot, matrix, Python SDK, or wherever you put it last time. Just make sure it's in the same place. We hope this is going to work. If my memory serves me correctly, it doesn't actually matter where you put this because you're going to train it. You're going to do some training. So we're going to clone into that. Seq. There's a requirements file. If you need to get scikit-learn, TensorFlow, TensorLayer, NumPy, etc. Oh, and TQDM. We have to remember to source into our environment. So where are we now? We are a couple layers up, so we're going to go source. I believe that'll do it. Bin. Yep. Activate. Nope. That's not it. There we go. Tutorials. It's my tutorial section. Okay. So we've just logged in. Okay. So we are going to is it here? Pip install -r requirements. This will get the file for us. Install a little stuff. Oh no. What have I done? Looks like I already had most of them, but if you don't have them, you're gonna have to install them. We're using TensorFlow pip list grep I tensor. We have TensorFlow GPU 1-10. I think, and we need Python 3.6.6. That's important because TensorFlow doesn't work with 3.7 yet for some reason. Who knows why? Okay. So once we have that, this is a really convenient library. There's a main file here. Let's read the README. You basically train it. Let's try that. We'll start training it. And then you come back to a trained library, which you can use the inference mode to get to chat for you. It's actually really simple. So yeah, almost as easy as the TextGen RNN one. In fact, possibly easier. So it downloaded the model for us, I guess. I hope. Did you download the model? He's written some stuff in here. Yeah, so there's some stuff. And then it just starts running. It'll do 50 epochs and you're good to go. I'm gonna leave it and come back when it's done. No, I've already trained it up. So we're just going to, if you just let this run, it'll run for, I think it takes quite a while. I believe it took overnight for my computer to do. But when it's done, aborted. We'll go find, let me go find my pre-trained model and drag this guy into here. So I believe the only part that matters is the model.npz file, which is generated through training. Again, you can let it run all night, have your thing train up real good, but just for the sake of time, I've already trained it. So let's try out inference mode, okay? Python main.py. I'll call it inference mode.py. Oh shoot, that's not how languages work. There we go. This is the problem with these things, they take forever. My tiny ass computer doesn't work. There you go. That's pretty good. That's cool. What song was it? No. You did. Okay. He gets mushy. He likes to get mushy. Anyways, since we've trained this bot up, let's jam him into our Matrix Python API and have ourselves a little chatbot. Okay? Let's do that right now. So, what do we got? What have we got? So this is our old one. Let's save this as, what are we? Matrix Champles? Champles isn't a word. We'll call this guy Sequence2Sequence. Right? And the stuff that was for TextGen RNN, we'll just block that out. So we're still going to log in a matrix. Ooh, I hope my username and password are okay. That's the old one. That is the old one. Now he's called LucasBot. And his password is... You know what? We won't use this one. We're going to use a different one that I have previously modified because it's just better. So the stuff we need for this that's different is we can look at where's our main file. Let me explain some stuff in the main file here for you with Kate. No. Okay. Fuck, just open. All right. So the this is the Sequence2Seq chatbot main pie. This comes with it. The we need this stuff. TQDMs. We actually don't need most of this. Most of this is for training. The section we're interested in is if not inference, and then inference. Okay. So here's where it loads model.npz. So this just needs to be in the same folder as the chat client, and the inference stuff starts here. And it returns a sentence. So this is like a thing we can call and return a sentence. So if inference mode, print this. We don't need any of that. While true, see this start to sound like what we normally do in our chatbots. So let's go grab. Let's copy this whole guy into our other one. Where do we put it? Okay, let's just plop it right here. It's gonna get messy. So let's get rid of some of this stuff. Sorry, I'm not trying to take away the credit from the people who wrote this. I will link to your repos in the thing. I just want to make sure I'm not doubling up on anything. So time, click, numpy, TensorFlow, matrix, TDQM, TensorFlow layers. Data, Twitter. I don't know if this is gonna exist. We don't really need that. So let's get rid of that. Okay, so going down, blah, blah, blah. This is all for training. You can do all kinds of stuff for training. Use your own training data if you want. We're loading model.npz. So in this folder, we need to have model.npz. So where did I put that? I put it in samples, right? Yeah. So right here, this is what we're dealing with, right? Simple chat client sequence. So that's really all you need to have in there. So once you've trained that, you can do it. Again, it only takes overnight. I'd share it, but GitLab has like a 10 megabyte limit on uploads and stuff. It's, I guess, to stop piracy. I don't know. It sucks. All right. So here's the part we're interested in, inference mode. We already said that. So this input query, we're going to get this from the chat, okay? So this is when we need to start doing some, you know, some matrix stuff. So let me grab the text that I did before. Our standard on message. Where's that? That's down here. Where am I? I'm lost. On message. Okay, so this right here. Right? This is what we had before. I want that. This can just go away. And we're going to put that inside our train loop. So the main thing here, train. We're going to put this definition, so this function. Inference. Okay, right here. Okay. So this is our old one. This is the one from TextGen RNN, so it still has the TextGen stuff. We're gonna get rid of that for now. Also, tutbot is not what it is. Oh, I screwed that up. Tutobot? It's LucasBot now. If LucasBot. So we're just changing it. So so this message on message gets called. The Matrix Python API calls this every time there's like a. How do I say this? It's an event. So every time there's an event in the chat, this function gets called, and then you can go through event type. It's a message, it's text, and then you can say stuff like if LucasBot is in the event. So like if you call LucasBot, hey LucasBot, you can do stuff. Right here we're just replacing LucasBot in the name, so it doesn't get fed into the chatbot. It's just the question that you ask the chatbot. And room send on text is the part that actually sends the text, but we're not going to use that right now. So let's go. We got to modify this for sequence to sequence. Sequence to sequence. Where are we? Sequence to sequence. Inference. Oh yeah, this is the login. We need this too. We're not going to have a function to do this. We're just going to actually just log straight in. Okay. So let's just grab this. Let's delete this part. You're toast. Because there's already a main. It's right here. So we don't want to call it twice. How many friggin' main? Oh, we want that because that's our passwords. That's the old passwords. That doesn't work anymore. We'll just delete it. It's deleted. Great. And we're going to put this somewhere clear. Right after if inference mode. If inference mode. So basically it's going to start up and it's going to log in a matrix. Ooh, that didn't paste great. Okay. We're now, instead of going to use the we need what the hell? Oop, here it is. Client login username is now LucasBot. You guys will have to have your own, obviously. I'm going to clearly change these passwords because they're stupid after I've done it. It's just for the demonstration. So here we need the room that we're in. The actual room I'm going to link to is just the test chat room for LucasBot. So this is the place you get that. If you'd like to see where you find that, you have to go to, you have to make an account with Riot. Okay, and then you log in and you find yourself in a room. There's like it's an initial room, and then you go to room settings, and then in room settings, advanced maybe, it'll say internal room ID. So this is the ID you need to log in. Okay, otherwise you need your username and password. That's a little forecasting of the future. All right, where are we? So I think that's good. And then right here, it adds a listener to the room, basically. So on message is the function, and then it's just listening for anything to happen. We don't need this. This never did anything. And we don't need this crap. This doesn't do anything either. So we're just going to have it loop infinitely, okay? We're not printing inference mode. Well, this part here is actually what we need to put into our message function. So let's do that. So basically, what's going to happen is if you do the -- inference mode, this is gonna run, and we're going to declare this function, and then if inference mode. Oh shit, these gonna go up. If inference mode, log into matrix client using our username and password, and then start looping. And then initiate the room listener. Right? This is not, shouldn't be tabbed in. This is part of this. Initiate that, and then loop infinitely. Okay? That is all that's going to happen. So now we're going to go to the onMessage function, and in that we're going to put our new connection to. We don't need well true. So what's going to happen now is every time there's a message sent to the room, it's going to go through this. It's going to find out what kind of type it is. If it's a message, great. Then it's going to look for a text message, and then it's going to check to see if it has LucasBot in it, i.e. someone called LucasBot's attention, and it's in the body, not like a name or something like that. And then it's going to take the words from that body, and it's going to split them up. We're not going to do this anymore. Yes, we are. I think this requires splitting it up. Let me check. Nope, we're not. This one doesn't require splitting. So the splitting up was for text gen RNN. It required a list of words. This one's just going to take raw text, so we don't need that anymore. This here we're going to use as words. Input sequence is words. And then we're going to go sentence. Inference is a function that was written by the lovely people who wrote this Seq2Seq. It's this. It takes our seed word, which we're going to, it's the sentence, and it does inference using the AI. It's where all the logic happens, and it returns a sentence. Okay, and then we're just going to take that sentence, and we're going to send it to the screen. So let's steal this part. Okay. Who wants to bet this doesn't work? Should we try it? Let's friggin' try it. Let's be heroes. Do we have... This is not the one. CD samples. So we'll go find it in CD samples. And here we have simple chat client Seq2Seq. Okay? So here goes nothing. Should always test these things before. No, dang. 176. Where are we? It's good. Debugging is part of it. What? This is not a room, apparently. I have goofed the room part. Let me just copy paste this. I'm bad at typing, you know. Okay. 176. It's changed slightly now. Do you think it'll work? Right. I need to import the matrix client. I'm good at this. I'm a programmer. What? I've imported it. It's right there. What's the problem? Shit, have I not installed it? Oh no, what have I done? If anyone knows where that's from, please tell me. Oh, I think I made a separate chatbot one, didn't I? Is there a bin? There it is, look at that. Source bin activate. Okay, let's try this then. CD matrix, CD samples, Python simple. Boom. Well, it's already doing better. Oh, we need to, this one we didn't do the requirements on pip install, so let's just go find the requirements. CD, no, where was it? Seq2Seq? Yeah. So we're doing this again because apparently I had previously made a different When I made the tutorial before, I had a different environment, and I forgot to log into it. So it's fine. It's no big deal. We'll just install it. We'll see what they get. It's be more like what you guys had to do anyways. Whoa! What the fuck happened? I'm bad at typing. I hit tab twice every time because it looks like it takes a while, but it's just pausing. I don't know why. It's exciting. Okay, it's installed. Oh. Okay. Here we go. Let's find it. Where is it? Bam. Oh shit, gotta do inference mode. With this one you have to type inference mode on. Otherwise it won't go into inference mode, which is the whole point. If you don't, it'll start training, so don't do that. Data. So we copied data in here. We have model NPZ. I think the issue is that we commented out this. So uncomment this line if it's commented out on your thing. Make it stand out. It's initialized in the actual here in this function. Oh, what have I done? Yeah, it's initialized right. Yeah, so unfortunately we do need to involve that. This might mean when you first run it, it'll if you trained your network up, this will all be fine. This won't be an issue. It'll have it all. So this is only because I'm trying to be a superhero and having pre-trained it, even though it's causing me trouble now. So let's try. It's going to complain about the NLTK file, I'm pretty sure. At which point we will. Yeah. Okay, so let's try installing that. I don't know what that does. Interesting. Okay. Come on, work. Work. If this works, we're good. We have a chatbot. This is the general idea, anyways. Whether or not you do it this way, or if you use a different chat API. I like. Oh, good. Looks like it might be working. I like Matrix because. Oh, is he named Byron Bot? Or Lucas Bot? Byron Bot. I think Lucas Bot will get him. Let's try Lucas Bot. Hey, Lucas Bot. What are you doing? Oh, he crashed. Take 2 positional arguments, but 3 were given. Wet. What am I doing wrong? Oh, fuck. That's what you get when you copy paste for tutorials, you know? Need this. Get out of here. This is all we need. We just want to join all of the things in the inference output into a sentence with a space in between them, because it gives everything as a list, which is fine. It's no big deal. Let's try this crud again. Okay, it's loading up. So he's currently called Byron Bot, but that's because when I use him with my friends, he's replacing Byron, my chat buddy who left for Lent. His actual name in the program is called Lucas Bot. You have to pick the name that's in Riot. Okay, so whatever the name of the actual whatever the login name for Riot is, that's what you pick, and then you can use whatever trigger word you want. We used Lucas Bot, but right now we can change it to Byron Bot if you want. So let's do that. Byron Bot. That's it. If Byron, let's just call him Byron. If Byron, capital Byron, an event do this, okay? Pretty straightforward. Oops. I started quoting myself, I guess. Let's start him up again, because now he's called Byron. Lots of waiting. That's the fun part about machine learning. Waiting for stuff. 13 hours to find out it didn't work? Yeah! That's why you follow tutorials. Bad tutorials. Okay, let's try this again. Boom! Hey, LucasBot, what are you doing? Come on, LucasBot. Come on. It didn't fail, but nothing happened. Oh yeah, it's not LucasBot. I just changed it seconds ago. What are you doing? There you go. That's nice, Byron. I was thinking about you too. Oh, the real Byron would not say that. Okay, guys, that's the Sequence2Sequence chatbot. It's significantly better than the TextGen RNN from a chatting perspective, although it takes much longer to train, and it's still pretty limited. We got lucky. He said two sensical things in a row, but we can probably get him to say something else. Hey Byron, what is your favorite color? Spell stuff Canadian style. It's not gonna work. Yeah, you were listening to colors, bud? I don't think so. Let's try it with the American spelling. Yeah, see? It makes a little bit of sense, but not tons of sense. Hey, Byron, say good night. Yeah. Byron, are you happy? So he's not great. He's better than TextGen RNN. This guy uses every word in the sentence to navigate through the data space, I guess you'd call it. I don't really know what you call it. Through the model space. Think of it as like think of it as a vector or a series of every word being a point along a vector that points to an area in space, and then it does. This is not exactly how it works, but basically it finds the closest similarly spaced sentence and pumps it back out at you. So sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. It really depends on your training data and stuff. That's it. In the next video, guys, we're going to use OpenAI's GPT-2 to make a really friggin' awesome chatbot. See you guys.